Douglas Allen Bickford. Today's date is the 22nd of July, 2022 at about 8:45 a.m. here in Klamath Falls, Oregon, my hometown. Broadcasting live from my 105-year-old house. Klamath Falls, Oregon is the gateway to Crater Lake National Park, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world. You got to check it out. I am a self-taught psychiatrist. I am teaching you how to get healthy-minded. And it comes out of this book right here. And the very first thing you need to become healthy-minded is to attain and maintain self-esteem. And what self-esteem is, it's how you feel about yourself inside. It's also known as self-love, self-confidence, self-worth. You can think of self-esteem as this way. Most people don't even know what the 2 words even mean. But what it means is, self-esteem means is, we've all been in romantic relationships. When you first meet that person, that good feeling you have for that other person, you're bragging all your family friends, you're going to be soulmates, you're going to die together, you're never going to separate. What self-esteem is, that good feeling towards yourself. Dr. Susanna McMahon, where I've got all my training from, is a psychiatrist. She's 73, lives in Madrid, Texas with her husband, has a doctorate in psychology, also has a master's in philosophy, has had thousands of clients throughout her career. I don't know what she's doing now, but anyway, I am her spokesperson. People would pay her big bucks back in the 70s, 80s, 90s to fix their unhealthy mind. As a psychiatrist, there's absolutely only one way that you can get a healthy mind, and that's to attain and maintain self-esteem. She had to come up with a concept to get her clients to give themselves self-esteem. And here's that very simple concept. It's called mirror therapy. You look yourself in the mirror, say 4 things. I love you. I love my inner child. I'm worthy to be loved. Worthy to love. I am full of goodness. Those 4 things to yourself in the mirror will give you self-esteem instantaneously. But to maintain it, you have to practice it. It's like lifting weights. Okay? If you stop lifting weights, you'll have to start over again from scratch. Self-esteem is the exact same thing for the brain. Okay? So you'll have to say those things daily to yourself in the mirror for the rest of your life, literally. Take you less than 10 seconds. I love Douglas Allen Bickford. I love my inner child. I'm worthy to be loved, worthy to love. I'm full of goodness. The more you say it, the more you believe it, and the more you feel it. The reason she came up with mirror therapy is because we cannot lie to ourselves in the mirror. It's a psychological event that happens in your brain. You can't say something you don't believe to yourself in the mirror. So that's why you can very easily get in front of the mirror and criticize. Either you say it out loud or you think it about yourself when you get in front of the mirror, especially when we get older. So the very first time you say it to yourself in the mirror, you're going to have to force yourself to do it, like I had to do it. The more you say it, the more you feel it, and the more you believe it. Okay. I'm the absolute only one teaching how to get self-esteem. I'm the absolute only one teaching self-esteem on the internet, television. In fact, it's a taboo subject. Every lesson in this book talks about how we've been trained and taught not to have self-esteem. She knew it as a psychiatrist and still knows it as a psychiatrist. Back then, they were using the churches, the televisions, the state governments. Now it's 1,000 times worse with the social media. So it's a taboo subject. The 2 words are taboo subjects. That's why nobody ever talks about it. You can't find anybody teaching it. nowhere. Okay, how to get it. So I am the absolute only one teaching it. I'm the only one teaching you how to get it. I just told you how to get it. I'm the absolute only one telling you how important it is to have. I mean, and I'm the absolute only one telling you how simple it is. Here's why it's so vital that you have self-esteem and maintain it. You can't be content without it. What content means is you feel good about how, where, and what you are. It's also known as internal peace. There are 11 things that people are using to try to be content, to get internal peace. They are Facebook, YouTube, drugs, all the social media, drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, television, food, religion, another person, material possessions, or money. Those 11 things are outside of yourselves. They're known as externals. They will make you feel content, good, temporarily, but it never lasts. There's absolutely only one thing that's going to make you content permanently, and that's to attain and maintain self-esteem by the 4 things to yourself and mirror daily without fail. Okay. The other reason it's so vital as a human being to attain and maintain self-esteem, because we can't love or be loved without it. So what happens is 2 people without self-esteem will attract each other. So you'll either marry him or you don't marry him. After the good feeling goes away that you had for that other person when you first met him, that's when the fights and the arguments start, the cheating, the drug and alcohol use, getting in the car, going down the road. I got to get away from this person. You go to therapy, nothing works. The apologies, but the name calling and all that just keeps happening. You go to your family and friends, telling everybody how terrible these people are to you. And then what happens because of that is you'll divorce or separate. And then the same 2 people will go jump back in another relationship, and the exact same thing will happen. That's why I've been married 4 times. That's why you've been married more than once. That's why I've had many failed relationships, and it's why you've had many failed relationships. The second thing that'll happen, 2 people that got together with no self-esteem, you'll stay in that relationship forever. And even though both the people know it's bad, the sexual, emotional, and physical abuse goes on for years, and everything gets swept under the rug by the family members, and then it becomes a dysfunctional family at that point. And dysfunctional families produce more dysfunctional families. So the same thing happens down the line. The children get into dysfunctional relationships. And so the cycle continues, right? And the very last thing that'll happen, actually, the reason that those people don't leave that relationship is they're being codependent to each other. They don't want to be a failure. They're afraid to leave. They can't be alone. And they don't want to be embarrassment to all their family and friends and church members. So they stay in it forever, the toxic relationship. And then the last thing that'll happen is the 2 that have been in many failed relationships and marriages or whatever will just exit out of the romantic scene and just go, I'm done. I can't find anybody to love me, and I can't find anybody to love, so I'm just not going to have anybody. And just live alone the rest of their lives. There's a lot of that going on too. So anyway, there's a cure for everything. Okay? All those relationships. If all the people involved say 4 things to themselves in the mirror daily for the rest of their lives, and then get this book and go through it. It's that simple, folks. And it will give you self-esteem, and you'll maintain self-esteem. And then because You can't be content without self-esteem, and you can't love or be loved without it. So you can fix your whole life by attaining self-esteem and getting this book. Like I said, and go through the rest of the concepts. And that's why I'm very confidently spreading this message. It worked on me. I'm full of it now. Okay. Self-confidence is one of the things of self-esteem. And that's why I'm going to continue to do this, because I have learned, and that's why I'm a self-taught psychiatrist. I can help you. I really can. So I'm going through this book one lesson at a time. Here's the next lesson. Why can't I have a good relationship? Lesson 63. This question is frequently asked by those who are desperate for someone to love them and for someone to accept them as they are and to fill their needs. This is too much to ask of anyone else. The paradox here is that no one else can give us what we are not willing to give ourselves. If we love ourselves, accept who we are right now, and fill our needs, we will not be desperate for relationships. This is what has happened to me. And that's why I'm teaching it. Try to get you to get it too. We will not be desperate for relationships when we are not needy or desperate. And when we are not needy or desperate, good relationships occur. If we do these things, love ourselves and take care of our needs, we will not need to be in relationships. We will be okay with ourselves. If we're not okay with ourselves, we will be attracted to relationships that are destructive, and others who are not okay with themselves will be attracted to us, just like I just said. It is almost if we were invisible to ourselves, but visible to others, neon signs on our foreheads, which attract others with the same signs. If we have self-esteem, we attract others who also have it. If we do not love ourselves, we attract those who do not love themselves, just like I said. Okay. And all my training, like I said, comes from her. And she's a psychiatrist, folks. It's all true. I have not jumped back in another toxic relationship, and I've been married 4 times. Because I attain and maintain self-esteem on a daily basis by saying those 4 things to myself in the mirror. And going through this book, okay, and teaching you how to get it. Good relationships are comprised of healthy people. A relationship cannot make the people in it healthy. If you're looking for someone else to take care of you or make you happy, the person you will attract will most likely be looking for someone to make him or her feel loved. I've done it 4 marriages, folks, and they've all turned up disastrous. And there's many of you in the same boat out there. The relationship that follows will not be healthy. Both of you will get caught in a vicious and destructive cycle of trying to get your own needs met by someone who is also very needy. Oftentimes, the only way out of the cycle is to end the relationship, which I did my 4th marriage. And if you do not learn how to correct this by taking care of yourself before you begin a relationship, chances are that you will repeat the cycle over and over and over and over again. That's why you've been married more than once. Okay? Call it relationship jumping. We have not been trained, and here's where that training comes in. We have not been trained to know how to have a good relationship. Unless we are very lucky, most of the relationships around us are dysfunctional. Most. You're talking billions of people on the planet. and frequently destructive to the participants. I know somebody that's married 70 years. In fact, it's my ex-mother and father-in-law. They hate each other, but they stuck it out because they're being codependent on each other. And they produce dysfunctional families down the line. I was married to her daughter for 16 years, and it was dysfunctional. I married this woman after 3 days, okay? And for 16 years, it was a dysfunctional relationship. And then I turned out 2 dysfunctional children who are now in destructive relationships with 2 people. Alcoholics, drug addicts, and not my grandchildren are all the same, okay? And now I got great grandchildren in the same boat, okay? So the cycle continues. The buck stops with me because I broke the cycle. But now that's why I'm here teaching, being a self-taught psychiatrist, trying to help you so it doesn't happen to you too. And I'm going to keep spreading my message. It's my life's work. We have not been trained to know how to have good relationships. Unless we're very lucky, most of our relationships around us are dysfunctional and frequently destructive to the participants. My ex-wife, the very first one, she remarried somebody. She's still with this guy, but it's been a dysfunctional relationship for like 25 years. But she just swept it all under the rug. Just gets swept under the rug by everybody. Except for moi, but once you attain and maintain self-esteem, you won't be around discouraging people. I've had to get away from my own children because they're all discouraging to me. Our movies, our television, music, and fairy tales all foster the illusion and expectation that the perfect person will suddenly appear and we will fall madly in love and nothing else will matter. This fantasy of relationship is similar to an addiction in that someone else will take us out of the reality of our life and everything will get better. If we believe this fantasy, we will quickly discover that the price for the high is not worth the low. It's so true too. Every marriage was the same for me. All 4 of them. Bad relationships cost too much. They're emotionally draining and kill the spirit. Man, my spirit was killed for 38 years out of my life. Not no more. All addictions, including relationship addictions, are against the self. They stop us from functioning to the best of our abilities, and they detract us from the real business of life. They misuse our energies, and they kill our creativity. Having no relationship is better than having a dysfunctional one. Besides, there is no such thing as no relationship because we are having a relationship with ourselves. And that's me now. And it can be you too. Focus on this one. This is the only one you can control. It's the only one that results in change and that makes you balanced and centered. The only good reason to want a relationship with someone else is to share yourself with the other. If you begin the relationship by feeling less than worthy, less than deserving of love, how can you then expect the relationship to be better than what you are bringing into it? An analogy would be going into battle without weapons, without armor, without training, and expecting to win. Impossible. You are more than your relationships, and your relationships can never provide more than you are willing to give yourself. Period. I'm going to have another lesson for you tomorrow, folks. Lesson 64, why can't I fall in love with the right person? Y'all have a great day out there on this Friday. If you say 4 things to yourself in the mirror, you won't have to worry about going out and drinking and drugging tonight, because you won't want to destroy your body, your soul, and your mind with alcohol or drugs. Anyway, y'all have a great day out there. I can be your mentor when you start going through this change. You start saying 4 things to yourself in the mirror, folks, and you will change. I guarantee it. Y'all have a great day out there. I'll talk to you tomorrow.